a path to citizenship makes sense to me. Also, let immigrants work without breaking the law and getting fake papers. That makes sense to Jacob Hornberger of the Future of Freedom Foundation. In fact, Jacob, you would go further than I would. You want open borders.
The free movements of people across borders, exercising what Thomas Jefferson called the fundamental rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
But people come here to kill us. And most of the people in the world are horribly poor, and they want to come here to freeload. So how can you have open borders?
It is ironic that we have the most powerful government in the world and among really the most frightened people in the world. I mean, there's absolutely no reason to fear foreigners. A lot of Americans go overseas on vacations and business trips, and they seem to interact with foreigners. They walk out in the streets of Mexico City or whatever other cities, and they're not afraid of them. Most foreigners love America. They want to come here and work. Most people throughout history are willing to leave their country to better their lives through work, through labor, through mutually beneficial exchanges. I mean, immigrants are a great gift to a society, and we treat them like they're a burden. Actually, they contribute to the economic prosperity of the country. They're one of the main reasons why America had a tremendous upsurge in the standard of living of people throughout the 19th century, when America embraced a policy of open borders.
But then there weren't terrorists wanting to murder us. And fine, I'll go to Mexico and feel safe. I wouldn't feel safe in Syria.
Well, of course not, because you've got the U.S. military, the CIA, over there dropping bombs on people. I mean, so here's where you have two government interventions coalescing with each other. If you stop the U.S. government from intervening in Syria, Iraq, the rest of the Middle East, trying to kill ISIS, bring all the troops home, the anti-American terrorism disappears. I wouldn't travel to Syria, in large part because people really hate what the U.S. government's been doing in the Middle East.
I understand why people agree with Trump when he says, those Muslims from the Middle East, we got to stop letting them in.
When they come in from Syria, I want them to be registered because we just don't know who they are.
Jacob, we don't know who they are. All those young men.
If we stop dropping the bombs and forcing people out of Syria, there will be less people trying to escape the bombs and save their lives. But the other thing, John, is that the odds of somebody coming over here and doing harm to America in a terrorist attack are so small. Even if you open the borders, most people just want to come to a country to save their lives from the bombs or improve their lives. So if you have a tiny percentage
a tiny percent can do a lot of damage.
But look at it domestically. We have open borders here in the United States. Every day, thousands of people or countless people can cross from Maryland into Virginia and back. When those snipers were coming from Maryland into Virginia, we didn't close the borders. We didn't regulate the borders. We assumed the risk of open borders between Maryland and Virginia. We used law enforcement to finally close in on these guys, and they caught them. Did they kill some people in the meantime? Yes. But Americans took the position of our freedom's more important than the risk of getting killed by those few terrorists. Never should we sacrifice our principles of liberty for the sake of security.
All right, the candidates. Trump wants to build the wall across the southern border, triple the number of immigration and customs officers, end birthright citizenship. Hillary, though, wants to create a pathway to citizenship and to increase the number of Syrian refugees who we admit. So from 1 to 5 on our liberty meter, how do you score Donald Trump?
Score him a 1. He wants to build walls, wants to isolate the American people. I mean, he's an isolationist, let's face it. And so, yeah, I give him a 1.
And Hillary?
Hillary a 1 too. You know, these Democrats, they talk out of both sides of their mouth. She wants to help the poor.
She says a pathway to citizenship. She wants to increase the number of Syrian refugees.
She and her ilk have been waging this war on immigrants for decades. Her boss, President Obama, is the great deporter-in-chief. He has deported more people than any other president. He's doing what Donald Trump has promised to do. Trump at least is honest. He's out there. You know, Clinton is over there playing both sides of the fence. And let me make one more point here. Immigration doesn't equal citizenship. There's absolutely no reason why you can't have a system where people are coming in to work, visit, tour, invest, and keep their citizenship. Why not just free movements of people and everybody keep their own citizenship unless they want to apply for citizenship?
That makes sense. Thank you, Jacob Hornberger of the Future of Freedom Foundation. And I sure hope freedom has a future.